This is a big start of those. Isil's feeling the heat, even to the point that they're killing and beheading their own people. Isil is feeling the heat. They're feeling the heat. The world is starting to close in around them. The world is starting to close in around them. They are feeling the heat. They're feeling the heat from the bombs, from the Kurds, from the world. The world is set against them because they're terrorists. They're butchering and slaughtering innocent people. And they're killing their own people now. They're killing their own people. 30 British have died in Syria fighting with Isil. It's a death on wheels. It's death on wheels. Isil is death on feet. It's death. It's just nothing but death. They're feeling the heat. They're feeling the heat of the world. They're going to feel it even more as the months move on. The Kurds get stronger. Turkey goes there to fight. They'll really be in trouble. They'll really be in trouble. Because people are tired. People are tired of terrorists living in fear, living in hell. They're starting to learn the fight is the better to die. The fight is the better to die. The Kurds are fighting with everything they got. Hopefully they get arms and time to fight ISIL. Hopefully they get arms and time to fight ISIL. They're going to take training in Turkey, and they're going to learn how to fight urban warfare. Kind of like street games in the city of Chicago. Urban warfare is what it really is. But they're beginning to fight. They're beginning to fight. They're beginning to feel the heat. They're beginning to feel the heat around them. They're beginning to feel the heat around them from the bombings, from the Kurds, from the fighting. They're beginning to feel the heat. They're killing their own people because of find any reason. Embezzle them, whatever you want to call it. So I said, these people are out for money. This is not a jihad. This is not a war. This is a battle for money, power, and greed. That's all it is. And it's all ISIS itself for itself. It's not out to free any religion. It's not out to because of any religion. It's out for the buck. It's out for the buck. They're going to kill and mutilate anybody they can do to get the buck. They are feeling the heat. You can tell by the news that they're starting to feel the heat. They're starting to feel the power of life and death around them. And death around them. They're banning people leaving them in the streets, trying to scare people. People aren't being scared. The Kurds are in there fighting. They're fighting with everything they got. They're starting to feel the heat. ISIL is starting to feel the heat. Slowly but surely, they're starting to feel the heat of the world closing in around them, closing in on them. It's a sadness of human life and had to succumb to this thing. But you still got Bashar Assad in his museum of human torture at the American Museum opened up. His own torture, dead bodies, skulls. It's absolutely nasty, disgusting thing they have to look at. But they're starting to feel heat. They're starting to feel oppression. And it's going to come. It's going to come. It's going to come. You can't continually just execute, kill, and butcher, and slaughter, and genocide human life, not expect it to stop sooner or later. We don't need any more Hitlers in the world. We don't need any more Hitlers in the world. And this group, this sounds Hitler-esque. They want you to do what they want. They want every power of life over your rights, over your freedoms, over your humanity. Sooner or later, it has to close it around. It has to close it around. That's what all people who try to conquer people. They start to realize that you can't conquer certain people. You can't conquer people because that feeling of life, freedom is always there. And people are beginning to willing to fight, and it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow, and they're gonna get theirs. They're gonna get theirs. In the long run, they're gonna get theirs because this is a sadness. This is sadness. Because they had killed, slaughtered, and butchered every human life they can find. And it's a sadness of human life. But they act like this is a holy war. It's a lie. It's a bare-faced lie. This isn't a holy war. This is a slaughter. It's a practice and execution. Otherwise, why would they be happy? You go to war, you just kill people. You don't cut their heads off and leave them laying on the street. You don't cut their heads off and leave them laying on the street. They're trying to show that they still have the power that they used to have. But they're losing that power. slowly but surely, because they're beginning to kill their own people. Their own people are beginning to turn on. Their own people are beginning to turn on. Like I said, it's greed and money. They executed a bunch of them for embezzlement and spying. Well, you live in terror, and you're a terrorist. You can't trust anybody around you. You can't trust anybody around you because you don't know who's going to betray you, or who's going to turn you in, or who's going to turn on you. You just don't know. It happens what happened with Al Qaeda, it happened with Bin Laden, it happened with the Taliban. People are turning them in for the money. People are turning in Bin Laden for the money. Sooner or later, they're going to feel the walls closing in around them. And Syria will begin to find some peace. Syria will begin to find some help. Syria will begin to find some life. And they will interact. They will interact. They will interact. They will feel the heat. They will feel the heat. It's a shame it has to be this way. You can't talk to people. You can't talk to these people. You can't deal with these people because they don't want to understand nothing but death. And that's all they understand is death. And that's all they do. That's all they do is kill, rape, plunder, genocide people. No, you can't have a world like that. I never was a proponent of bombing anybody in my life, but somebody had to stop. Somebody has to stop. They have to be stopped. They're executing. Same thing with Assad. Assad's going to have to be stopped too, because he's got his memorial of executions. I saw the pictures yesterday on the internet of him killed. No bodies, just dead bodies, 11,000. 55 pictures, somebody smuggled out of Syria. Because people are beginning to understand that there is no reward for these people. There is no reward. There's no virgins, there's no honey, there's just death. There's just death, execution, slaughter, being killed. Like I said, when you fight a war, you don't fight a war by cutting people's heads off. You fight a war, you shoot people and move on to the next war zone or combat zone or zone. But they're trying to get themselves a base in Khomeini where they can work on it. Because they're feeling the heat in Iraq, they're feeling the heat around Khomeini. They're feeling the heat. Well, like I said, I'm telling you, just like it is, that these people will hide amongst the school children, will hide amongst the hospitals, will hide amongst the women, just to protect themselves whenever it gets close enough. As it gets closer and closer to their liking, to their unliking, they will hide. They'll take off their hoods and hide and act like they were never part of Isil. They'll take off their hoods and hide and act like they're never part of Isil. Will any of these war criminals get to stand trial? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. You don't know. You won't know until Isil is smashed. And Isil has to be smashed. They have to be taken out. They have to be taken out. And that's the sadness of human life. And I have to do a show like this. They have to be taken out for the saving of people's lives. For the saving of people's lives. People are dying. They're killing and butchering and slaughtering people all over Syria. Assad's doing the same thing. Poor Syrian people are just stuck in that war-torn hell-loving life. It should not have been that way. Should have never been let get that way. But we have to deal with the real world. And in the real world, they are terrorists. They're killers. They're murderers. They're sociopaths. They're anybody who goes there wants to kill. Anybody that goes there just wants to kill. Or just wants to feel what it's like to kill. It's not a good proposition to know what it's like to kill. It's not a good proposition. It leaves you empty inside. Leaves you dead. Leaves you without knowing nothing. Leaves you without any feeling. Leaves you without any help. Because once you kill once, you're willing to kill again. And again. And again. And again. And like I said, if you were fighting a war, you wouldn't be beheading your own people or embezzlement and spying. Because you can't trust each other. Terrorists cannot trust each other because they don't know who's going to sell out who. They don't know who's going to sell out who. And that's the problem. That's the problem with groups like Isil and Al Qaeda and the Taliban. They don't know who's going to sell out who. They don't know who's going to sell out who. And that's the problem. That's the big problem. That's the big gap that's needed. Is these people cannot trust one another. These people do not trust one another. If they did, they wouldn't be executing their own people. They wouldn't be executing their own people. And Bashar Assad has his wall of fame in America. Somebody smuggled out 55 pictures to mutilated bodies of Bashar Assad. Not Isil, but Bashar Assad. I did a video yesterday. It's a terrible grieving life. It's a terrible grieving life they lead in Syria. It really is. It's a sadness of human life. It's a failure of human life. It's a slaughter of human life. Because people just want to live. People just want to live. And I hope Isil hears this. I hope Isil hears this and understands that the world stands against them and against everything they do and against every act they pull. That killing one more person is not going to stop. It's not going to stop the attacks that are being put upon. It's not going to stop. No nation is going to pay ransom to one that's going to be beheaded person anyway. Nobody's going to pay ransom. Because why do you think they're abusing Peter Osik? Because he's not Abdul-Rahim, and he doesn't even believe in Abdul-Rahim. Because they won't let him go. He has to go on with the fear of losing his head too. Fear of losing his head too. But if they let him go, we'll see what he says when he gets back in his own country. When he gets back, see what he says when he gets back to his own country. But Isil is definitely feeling heat. Because they're executing their own people. They're executing their own people. 30 British have died in Syria fighting for Isil. That's the shame of human life. That poor innocent Muslims have to suffer through all this agony and death. Human torture, human genocide. It really is. I know nobody I know. It's just not easy to listen to and not easy to hear. It is gory. It is gory. But when you start chopping people's heads off and leaving land in the street, it shows you have no humanity. It shows you have no humanity. You have no care, no value for human life at all. But you just leave bodies laying all over the street. It's the sadness of human life. It really is. It is the sadness of human life. It's just going to stop. It's going to stop. They're feeling the walls closing around them. They're feeling the walls closing around them. It's a shame they had to come to this. It's a shame they had to come to this. Because people are people wherever you go. People are people wherever you go. Human beings are human beings. You gotta understand it. People get tired. People get tired of the killing and the execution. Turn on their news every night and hear this. But their day will come. Their day will come. And hopefully they'll all get tried for war crimes. Hopefully they will all get tried for war crimes. Because this is all they're doing. It's war crimes. They're not fighting war. They're killing innocent people. They're killing innocent people who never did nothing to them. Never did anything to them. You can't tell people how to live. You can't tell people how to think. You can't tell people how to believe. Because it doesn't work that way. The world does not work that way. And they're closing in. They're closing in on it. They're closing in on it. And the day will come when Isil will fall. As Bin Laden fell. Saddam fell. All dictators. All people want to play God. Or play Hitler with the world. Or imitate Hitler. Well, because the world was not meant to be a butcher ground for a bunch of sociopaths, or a bunch of cowardice sociopaths that kill people, that murder people, that genocide people. And that's the sadness of human life. It really is. It's the sadness of human life that they have no value for human life. That they have no value for human life. Neither them, Al-Qaeda, the Taliban. It's not a conspiracy, and it's not a theory, and it's not a plot. It's a human truth, human fact, human reality. And they're being butchered. They're being butchered. I know for sure that the walls are closing around them. Walls are closing in around them. Slowly but surely, everybody's going to say they got a plan. They got a plan, all right. But it's not going to be the plan they think they have. They're going to get hit. They're going to keep getting hit. And they're going to keep getting hit. And they're going to keep getting hit until it stops. Until it stops. Until it's stopped. And as they take out more and more are going to come to fight. More and more will come to fight against them. Will they fight against Bashar Assad? Yeah, the rebels will. The rebels will. Like I said, militants, they may not be the most perfect group in the world. They may not be. But at least they're not chopping off people's heads. They're not killing people. They're not butchering people. They're not slaughtering people. But somebody has to end this war in Syria. Somebody has to end this genocide in Syria. Somebody has to end this genocide in Syria. The world is sick. The world is sick of the senseless slaughter of human lives for nothing but greed, power, and money. That's all it is. I think that's basically what it always comes down to with dictators. Greed, power, and money. The more they have, the better. When they found Bin Laden's castle, he had stacks and stacks, crates and crates of U.S. cash. But he hated America. He hated America. He had American money out to eat. And that's the sadness of human life. I guarantee you. The walls are closing in on Isil. The world is closing in. They're going to get boxed in as they continue to fight for Khomeini and keep killing each other. As they keep killing each other. They're already beheading each other because they think they're spies. Because you become paranoid. When you become a terrorist, or a leader of a terrorist group, you become paranoid. Somebody could kill you or overthrow you. You become paranoid. When they killed Bin Laden, he was lost. He was lost. He wasn't even worth executing. He wasn't even worth executing because of the fact that he had no mind left. He had no mind left. He was like a lost soul. It's like a lost soul with no. You lived so long in fear. You live so long in fear, you become paranoid of everything around you. That's why he went and hid in Pakistan. Sooner or later, they'll find him. Sooner or later, they'll target ISIS. Keep targeting ISIS. And they keep targeting ISIS. And they keep targeting ISIS. Until it ends. Until it ends. Until the Syrian people can stand up and live free. Live as a united, live as they want to live. They'll keep attacking. They'll keep attacking. They'll keep attacking. They'll keep heading. It's a shame. Like I said, I've never been a proponent of war. I've never been a proponent of war. But when you start executing people, butchering women and children, no. And the horror stories that have come out of Syria are just that. Death. Continuous, constant death. It's been the killing of human life, the slaughter of human life, and the genocide of human life. Bodies strewn in the street without heads. No. It's done for fear. It's a fear factor. Because it's a gory killing. Because it's a gory killing. And that's the sadness of human life. And Isil just infuriates more people and more nations every time they do something ugly. Every time they do something ugly, they infuriate more nations. They infuriate more nations. And their time's coming. Their time's coming. So this morning when they executed their own people. But their time is coming. Believe me, their time is coming. Their time is coming. They're being hit. They're being hit with everything they can get hit with. It's a shame of human life because you have to be that way. Will people decide to put troops on the ground sooner or later? If they do, their days are done. If they do, their days are done. Because there'll be so many, so monster. They won't know where to go. And Bashar Assad will have nowhere to go. But they will answer for war crimes. They will answer for war crimes sooner or later. Sooner or later, you can't go around the world butchering people. Well, sooner or later, somebody will sell you out. Somebody will sell you out. Just like they're doing with ISIS. I'll guarantee you that their people are turning on them. People are turning on them. People are coming home here to America. The British are turning on them. They're finding out this is not a war. This is not a war. This is not a war. This is a terrorist battle. That's all this is. It's a pure cold-blooded terrorist battle. I just wanted people to understand that this site is here for the Syrian people. The site is here for the Syrian people. For the Syrian people. For the Syrian human beings. But ISIL's on its way out. ISIL will be on its way out. Very soon now. It's a shame to human life. But it's going to have to stop. Sooner or later, it had to stop. It's a shame. You know, there was some guy came to my site and well, they got plans for Iraq. Yeah, they got plans already. They're going to get planned. They're going to get planned is what they're going to get. Because you can't fight air power. You can't fight air power. just keeps on coming, keeps on coming, keeps on coming. Sooner or later, he hits its targets. And if I know this nation, they've got spotters there. They've got spotters there. They know where to hit. They know where to hit. With satellite and radar and everything else, they know where to hit. They know where to hit hard. They know where to hit wet. And hopefully Khomeini stays in current chance. Hopefully Khomeini stays in current chance. This is a 7 billion human being. Historical news. It's a fact of your life. ISIL is feeling the heat in Syria. ISIL is feeling the heat in Syria. Little by little, piece by piece, day by day. People are going to realize as more and more of them fall, it's time to get up and act. It's time to get up and act. And then there'll be a war. There'll be a war. Unfortunately. But you just couldn't stand by and let them execute the slaughter. They beheaded people, they beheaded reporters that are just doing their job. They got more Peter Cossack so scared for his life. And he calls himself a dual regime or whatever it is. Doesn't interfere. Doesn't interfere. Let him go. Let him go and see if he does it when he gets back to his home country. Because he won't. He's only saying what they want him to say because he doesn't want to lose his head. He's living in fear of his life. He's living in constant fear of his life. He's living in a room with mattress and nothing else. He's probably not eating right. Like I said, he'll say anything to stay alive. He'll say anything to stay alive. I hope he gets back. I hope that they get him out of there. It's not a good rain. It's Peter Cossack. He's a good man. Just went over there to help. Cover the war. That's the sadness of life. That people can't do their jobs. You know, the murder and slaughter that's gone on here hasn't been seen since Hitler. And Hitler had to be stopped. It took the world to do it. But eventually, it took time. But eventually they got him. And the same thing will happen to ISIL. The same thing will happen to ISIL. Sooner or later, time will run out for them. Most of them will scatter and run. And hide. Fear of being caught. Or fear of being seen. That's why they wear black hoods. Because they don't want to be seen. Because if the war gets that bad where they can't handle it anymore, they just take off their hood, start fighting against the other, start fighting against ISIL itself. And that's what they do. They'll start killing each other. They're already killing each other now. They executed a bunch of them this morning. We're spying in embezzlement. Embezzlement of what? We're going to cut off their funds until they don't have nothing left. We're going to cut off their funds. They're the ones that started it by pumping it on the internet. They pumped it on the internet so people could see it. And I think that was the biggest part of it. It really got people pissed off. Started beheading people, showing them TV, showing them the videos on the internet, using the internet as a weapon. And that's the problem with ISIL, is they're too cocky, they're too arrogant. You think that they're invincible. They're going to find out they're not. So paranoid now, they're killing their own people. This is a 7 days historical news. Thank you for watching. ISIL will fall, and so will Bashar Assad. Sooner or later, ISIL will fall, so will Bashar Assad. Because you can't murder and slaughter and butcher people. They have proof. Somebody smoking pictures out of somebody smoking pictures out of Syria, showing the butcheress 11,000 bodies. 11,000 bodies. This is horror. It's horror. 10%. In Bush, torture, waylaid. In fact, he's the one setting his own torture chamber. No, it's got to stop. Sooner or later, it will stop. This is something that can be historical. Thank you for watching.